Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Rob.
Hey, Guy, how you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Oh, doing great, eh?
Hey.
Doing great.
I'm doing great too, eh?
Hey, no do to boot it.
No dude about it.
That's right. We're giddy with video game excitement. So many consoles.
Yeah.
So many consoles.
Consoles coming out of our rear ends.
I wish. Scalpers are selling them for all the money.
Mm-hmm. True, right?
It's true. If you just poop a console, man, might bring about world peace.
You know, some people might... never mind. I was going to make, calling consoles poop, and yeah. We'll get to that later. That's
right. We sure will.
You know what? Let's get right into news and talking and carry this giddy train further down the trail.
There you go.
Just one bit of housekeeping. Just one. Just gonna remind everyone we do have a Patreon. If you'd like to support us, just look us up, the Grumpy Old Gamers, out at patreon.com. And if you're not interested in supporting us via Patreon, check out the video links somewhere down here. And there's a PayPal link in there.
Yep, somewhere down here. Unless our video's on top and I'm on the bottom, then it's below me. But if it might be below him. Yeah,
but it's definitely not above us. It's somewhere down here.
62 episodes in, we still got no idea what we're doing. That's okay though.
But you know what, Rob? That's an excellent segue, because Google has no idea what they're doing either.
No idea at all. I, for one, welcome
shutting
Google
down.
overlords.
What's going on?
Oh, this is weird.
So Google is offering the Stadia Premier Edition free to Canadians who subscribe to YouTube Premiere.
Right.
Yeah. And you had to have been subscribing already by, I think it was November 2nd or 5th or something, because as soon as I heard this, I'm like, how much is it to subscribe?
Right. Well, what is the does that include the Chromecast Ultra and the controller?
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, if anyone out there hasn't for some reason been subscribing to YouTube Premium, it's Premium, right? And that's the one that gives you the ads free. It's
oh wait, yeah, YouTube Premium and the Stadia Premiere.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. And how much is that a month? Like $12 a month, or?
Dude, I have no idea.
I've never. It's like, I can watch your ad. I don't need to pay for this.
I'm a patient man.
I'm a patient man. But yeah, Google's last gasp before they become not relevant, perhaps.
Let's see how much YouTube Premium sets us back. Like, I don't know what I would need YouTube Premium for. I think it's a big push because they're shutting down like Google Music and just moving it over to YouTube.
Sure.
I think that's what part of it is.
You know what would be a big thing for me is I listen to a lot of YouTube reviews and stuff like that from sites where it's basically I'm listening to the audio. If you have Premium, you can minimize the app and still listen to YouTube.
What do you mean? Like on your computer? Or?
No, on a phone. On a phone. Like if you're listening to YouTube and you're like, listen to the Grumpy Old Gamers and that Ryan's such a card, and then you switch apps.
Yeah.
Audio goes away. If you have YouTube Premium, it doesn't.
Oh.
It's like minimizing it, yeah.
Okay, you know what? That I could get behind that.
Yeah.
When
you're listening to the smooth, sultry tones of Mr. Ryan Cashmere here on the podcast, you could keep listening to his voice, while doing your banking or putting in your information to send
Doing your banking, surfing the web,
while you're going to
facing
patreon.com/grumpyOldGamers.
the Facebooks, tweeting the tweets.
Sending the tweets. Hello, ladies.
$11.99.
Oh,
So I believe
that's a lot of money.
It is $11.99 a month. So, and that's just for a single user. And then Stadia Pro is $11.99 a month as well. If you're so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even family plans. That's what's a family plan? $17.99 a month, which will get you 5 household members. I think that's a little better than I pay for Apple Family every month.
Is it?
Yeah, I think I pay $21.99, but that gets us everyone in the family, unlimited access to iTunes, right?
Yeah, we just have the single user, but everyone in my house uses my account, so, and that's like $10 a month or something, right? Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So people, Google. if you'd never Googled this stuff yourself, like we haven't, thank us.
There you go.
And you know what? We're doing great today because this, speaking of losing money, here's another great segue. So Square Enix is reporting a $48 million loss following the release of the Avengers.
That's a shame.
That is a dirty, dirty shame for those dirty sack boys.
It's dirty, dirty sack boys. That's an inside joke, folks. That's Ryan and I were just talking about PlayStation 5 exclusives, and
and we want a little
talk about sack boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's not surprising. That's a lot of money, but
it is. And you know what, man? I've ranted about this a few times already. I really tried to be optimistic about this, and it just, you know what? It's that old adage, you fool me once, shame on me, but fool me twice.
You're probably a politician.
Yeah. No, it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Fool me 3 times, you're probably in some branch of government.
Isn't it knock 3 times?
Knock 3 times.
You're welcome. That's going to be in your head for a week now.
Baby shark.
Oh no, where's that mute button?
You can't mute me. I'm the leader. Ha! I started the meeting. What now, Kashmir? What now? So Avengers sucks.
Avengers, yeah. You know what? I actually uninstalled it.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to hear some really good news about this game before I even venture in there again, because I'm just, when there's so much better stuff out there, like, why am I putting myself through
Yep.
So F them, Rob.
That's right.
F them. So there was some concerning news out on Friday.
Yes.
There was an apparent hostage situation at the Ubisoft offices in Montreal. They're still being tight-lipped about what the threat actually was, but it didn't seem like it was a very actual threatening situation.
Yeah,
what I found.
Yeah, I just pulled up an article here to see if there was like an update on it. It was a hoax. Unfounded hostage threat causes major police operation in Montreal. It doesn't even sound like it was against Ubisoft. They just were in the area, so the people were.
Okay.
They were. So the company memo was just telling them to barricade themselves, but.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're not. Police are being kind of tight-lipped, but it sounds like Ubisoft wasn't the only company that kind of barricaded themselves in. I might be wrong here. Most of the articles are in French, but it looks like they shut the street down.
Well, uh, oh, I guess it's not. We should have read all this before we.
We're just
But
reading
yeah,
as we're on the podcast here, folks. That's
I just found here that it's not actually just their building. There are
yeah,
also tenants in the building. So okay,
right.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, their employers were just being careful with it, telling them to barricade themselves in and all that. So
Yeah. Okay.
thankfully, everyone's okay at the end
Yeah.
of the day. That's the main thing.
That's never a cool hoax
No,
to
that's for
call
sure.
in. That's like that swatting that was a big thing there for years, where you never heard about that, where online personalities, people would find out where they actually lived and then like call the
Okay.
police in the area and say there's a hostage situation at this
Okay,
address.
grief.
And yeah, you should YouTube that one day.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
People are so stupid. Holy mackerel. Not our viewers. Our viewers are amazing
Not our viewers.
people.
That's why they turn in here. We got the creme de la creme.
Of the utmost moral non-ambiguity. Yeah, sure. Fine people. Very fine people.
Fine people. Very fine people. So yeah, hopefully, don't call in hoaxes, people. It's dumb. Just messes with people's lives.
Speaking of messing with people's lives.
Yes. Good.
Yeah,
good one.
yeah,
So this one is messing with my life because I really want this to be true. This next story. So this is a read into it what you want sort of thing, but Nintendo started offering for the Nintendo Switch a Super Metroid skin and screen protector set that you can put on your Joy-Cons but what got everyone in a tizzy is that what they're showing with this new set is that on the screen, it's a screenshot from Metroid Samus Returns, the 3DS game. So, which is a awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So I thought you were going to go with new Metroid Prime confirmed.
No.
Yeah.
No. They, I'm not even holding my breath. Like even maybe late 2021.
Sure.
Maybe.
Right.
Like everything that I've heard, they scrapped what they had because they weren't happy with where it was going. I think they wanted to be another genre-defining, type adventure, which I mean is hard to do. But
yeah. And if anyone can do it, it'll be Nintendo.
But
also, late 2021 might be when they get all the recounting and the legal stuff done in the States, and they might have a new or old president. Who knows? Might have a president.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a read into what you want situation, and I want Metroid Samus Returns to come to the Switch. There isn't a lot of stuff that happens on the touchpad that couldn't be remapped elsewhere. So
sure.
But you know what? There hasn't been any other 3DS titles I can think of that have been straight ported to the 3DS yet either. So
yeah, you're not wrong.
So, I hope it's because this is. I don't know if you remember way back in our early reporting days. This is how Overwatch got leaked. That it was actually coming to the Switch because a Switch case showed up with Overwatch, like all done in Overwatch, and people were like, "That means it's coming to Switch." And some people were like, "No, it's just for Overwatch fans. They want to keep their Switch in that case." And lo and behold, look what happened.
Yep.
So, fingers crossed.
That's why I keep hoping for a That's So Raven Switch case to come out.
Right.
This could be
right.
Finally the newest sequel. The Game Boy exclusive series.
Oh, man. I messaged you as soon as I saw this, Rob.
Yes.
This next little bit of information here.
Mm-hmm.
The next what would this be called? Collaboration between Fall Guys and property is Untitled Goose Game.
Yes, very exciting.
not so exciting. Trying to get those crowns. I just want to
Yep.
straight like, I just want to straight up buy this stuff. I will give you money.
I will give you real money if I can buy this suit. For anyone who doesn't know, you get crowns in the game by either winning or by playing a lot and then going up in levels, and eventually they give you mercy crowns. Well, the top half of the Goose is 5 crowns, and the bottom half is 5 crowns as well. So 10 crowns for the whole outfit. You cannot buy crowns on DLC. You cannot give them real money to get crowns. You cannot expedite it. But if you don't have the crowns in a week or 2 weeks or whenever this collaboration's done, you just missed the Goose. So I've been frantically, I don't want to spoil the next part, but I've been playing some Fall Guys trying to get some crowns. So not doing well. Not doing
well. We've got 3 costumes in a honk emote with sound effects.
Yep.
So that's coming later? The honk emote, or is that something you can get already?
I think you can get it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is where I read that. Yeah, they plan to add 2 more costumes in the honk emote in the future.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can't get it yet.
Yeah.
The store is always really limited to a few things, right? So
yeah. So yeah, I gotta hop on and play some. Play some Fall Guys this week. Try and at least get a goose head or something.
Yep. I got 4 crowns, so I need 1 more to at least get the head. So
nice.
Yeah.
So with the launch of PS5 this week, it was a big next gen week.
Right.
And PS Plus, the paid subscription service there, they added 1 more game, which until I read the fine print I thought was for PS4 and PS5, but it was just for PS5. They added Bugsnax.
Yeah.
Which was an exclusive launch title, I believe, or is it out on PC as
well?
It's out
on PC as
well. Okay.
We were just talking about this, yeah.
I think it's a timed exclusive on the PS5.
Right.
But
not even. I think Bugsnax I can buy right now on Steam.
No, but console.
I've got you. Yeah.
So it won't be on Xbox for a bit. But yeah, so I added it to my PS Plus account. So I have a PS5 game and no PS5 to play it on.
Right. Well, there you go. Now you got to get one.
Yeah.
If you could, for less than $1,000.
Do you want to talk about this next news article here?
Yeah, you bet. Well, we got lots to talk about with it. We left a good chunk of time for this, but there, as we were saying, there's a huge launch for consoles for next gen consoles this week. Like Sony launched their new next gen console, the PS5. Xbox launched their new next gen console, the Series S and the Series X. So Nintendo countered with the new Game & Watch.
They're like, what's the lowest bit of tech we could sell to people?
Yeah. But on top of that, it was the only thing that all 4 of us grumpy old gamer actually bought.
Yeah.
Day one. So
yeah, we've all
actually very excited about it. It's getting some fun little reviews of people like, look, it was $60 American. No, it wasn't. It was $50 American. It was yeah.
Came to 70 Canadian.
Yeah, it's you can play Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros 2, like the actual Japanese the lost levels here in North America, and Ball, which is like the LCD thing where you're juggling the balls, and it's a watch with an alarm clock. I guess there's a lot of hidden stuff in there too, like all sorts of Easter eggs in there that you can find.
Yeah,
it's just cool, man. Like, are you going to play Super Mario Bros on it a lot? No, but it's cool. You can.
Yeah,
and you can set up as a little thing, and it's just kind of cool, right? So
I was just checking. So I just logged on to bestbuy.ca.
Great.
It's available for shipping and pickup still. So I kind of thought it would sell out, honestly. But
I think they must have had a lot of them because it's not like you're making a PS5. I think it's a lot easier to make, a lot
yeah.
cheaper to make, and
Well, I also kind of think I kind of forgot about the day, like launch day for it
yep,
being on Friday. I don't think a lot of people realize that they're out in the wild.
dude. Believe it or not, Twitter was exploding with lots of people picked them up. Like lots of people were talking about it.
Okay.
I think it might just be a case of like they made enough because it's probably a lot cheaper to make one of those than a PS5 or a Series X
Yeah.
or
Oh, it's true.
yeah.
It's true.
It'd be cool to see the numbers. I'm still happy I got mine, so it'll be
Yeah.
here Thursday. And
Well, because there was a part of me like, do I just hold on to this or do I actually try it?
oh, dude, dude.
I bought a copy of Mario All Stars, unopened.
Yeah, look what that got you. Okay. But I guess on top of the Game & Watch, which we're really excited about, we should share some thoughts on the next-gen console week. Big week in 2020 that did involve lots of death and rioting. So,
well, it's so weird because, I mean, in Canada, you couldn't actually go to the store and buy a PS5.
Yeah.
Like we reported last week, you can only order them for delivery. So I guess that probably took the wind out of a lot of people's sails on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish, and I don't want to jump on your making us grumpy this week unless you want to incorporate that here. But
no, go ahead.
I kind of wish. I think people who were loving the stuff that they got were actually just playing it and ignoring the world, the world, and just like immersing themselves. Like I didn't see enough. I saw a lot of unboxing stuff, and I saw a lot of like funny memes where they were like, people were packaging up their old ones and saying goodbye to them, and like bringing in I saw this one guy who did it like a birth announcement. He's like carrying in his PS5 wrapped in a blanket, and saw some great stuff like that. But man, people just latch on to the negative stuff, and just like that's what gets repeated.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know what, like. This time and space we're in right now, you don't need that.
Nope. If you like what you have, Don't worry about what other people are doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, we'll be talking about that more later. We're not done with that topic.
Yeah, okay.
Hell no.
So, other than it being a weird week with like 2 brand new systems with really no console launching games, besides all third-party stuff that's pretty much available, like almost like the biggest stuff available on both of them is like the Ubisoft Watch Dogs Legions and Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yep.
Right? Like that's like, I guess Call of Duty's on there too.
Oh sure, yep.
But they're not console exclusives.
No. I think a big thing for what I thought anyways, it seemed like a lot of people were very happy with playing their older game. Like if you got a Series X, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of people were playing their old games to see how cool they look and how quickly they load. They're like, hey, I can start Red Dead Redemption in like 10 seconds versus 2.5 minutes, That seems to be the big thing people were getting out of it. And games were looking good on it. And
yeah.
But yeah, if you were playing for a specific game because you're like, man, I really want this system because maybe Demon's Souls for the PS5, like we were talking about that was that looks pretty good. That looks pretty sweet. But what else was a launch title exclusive that was worth getting? Yeah.
I mean, they also launched EA Play launched on Game Pass for the consoles.
Yeah.
As well with this. So that was huge. So yeah, like
I was going to ask you something that this got announced like right before the PS5 came out, and I feel like we all kind of skipped over it. But Sony announcing that they were not supporting 1440p on the PS5. Did you hear about that? Or
No.
it's either 1080 or 4K.
Oh.
They said, and a certain group of people outraged pretty quick for that. And then
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I could see that, but what percentage of people are playing their console on a monitor that supports 1440p?
Yeah, because there's no. I don't think you can buy a TV.
I don't think I've ever seen a TV that supports
If
1440p.
no, if it goes 1080p and then to 4K.
Yeah.
I've never seen a 2K.
Yeah, seen lots of.
Right.
I mean, the monitors do it, right? Like the monitors
Yeah.
support all sorts of resolutions. But so for that group of people who might play on their monitor, like if you have a really big, sick monitor, but if you have that, you probably have a big, sick TV, right? Like,
Yeah, that is weird.
It is. It was just weird they didn't even have it, so it wasn't an option.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's a non-existent news story, but there were a lot of people who were excited about it and saying PS5.
How would you even like? Yeah, it's so weird. Like you'd have to have a separate. Oh, I guess you could have sound out from your monitor that goes into something, right? Like a pass-through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like some monitors have speakers. You know, if you go HDMI out, then
yeah,
you could actually even DisplayPort. Oh no, these don't just support DisplayPort, but
interesting.
Yeah.
So, it's a big week. I'm still kind of waffling on the, we were talking about this last week, how I as much as I want to play games on my computer, like I still like to sit on my couch and like relax and play.
Yeah.
I don't get that here.
Yeah. I was chatting about this with show contributor and longtime friend of both you and I, Trevor White.
Oh.
Probably shouldn't have said his last name, but hi, Trevor. He's not going to mind. And he said, I think a lot of what has got people so up in arms is that everyone is expecting this system to work like a $2,500 computer.
Oh.
And not just happy that it's working like a kind of a next-gen system, but everyone is expecting ray tracing and 4K 140 frames per second and all this stuff for $600. Like, that might have been financially impossible, right? Because he was talking about was evidently Miles Morales. If you're playing 4K on it, and with ray tracing, it only goes at 30 frames a second on the PS5.
Oh.
You have to turn on performance mode to get 60, but then you lose things like reflections in mirrors and the ray tracing. Or reflections in glass, I guess, not the...
Right, yeah.
Now, I mean, to you or I, it would probably still look amazing. Like, I'm sure even in performance, it's like, rays or no rays, it would be pretty awesome. But it's first-gen games, like the games that come out usually right when the system debuts, they never take 100% effectiveness of they never take full advantage of the hardware. That happens later on. Like God of War for the PS4 would not have come out when the PS4 first launched. They needed time to learn how to squeeze every little bit of awesome out of it, right? So, but I think people were expecting that, like, oh, with these new consoles, I'm going to get 120 frames a second and 4Ks and the rays and everything's going to be amazing. It's going to be like owning a $2,500 computer. That may have just been setting the bar a bit high for what we're actually getting, Like,
it's true. Yeah. Good points.
Yeah, I mean, you can still buy a $2,500 computer if you want and get all that stuff, but you wouldn't be able to build it for $500. Not even $1,000, right? So
no, maybe you could upgrade for that, but
fair enough. Yeah,
but not.
Well, even the video card to support that kind of power, you're looking at $700-800 for one that can support that,
right?
On top of the CPU and all the other doodads,
yeah.
right?
Huh. Well, that's interesting stuff. Yeah, that's stuff they're definitely not talking about, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's like, look, it's still you're getting kind of the next gen. Maybe like I think Brent put it well with a gen and a half. Like maybe it doesn't feel like a full next gen experience yet, but not that it's not going to morph to that. But
so it's almost like the PS5 is like the PS4 Pro Plus. Like,
yeah, it's like just one step up, right?
yeah,
Yep.
take that.
And that may change with Ratchet and Clank. Maybe you just need the game to take advantage of it, right? Like
Yeah.
like Ratchet and Clank may be that game. So that you look at and you're like, okay, that's the next
Which doesn't have an official launch date, just 2021.
2021, yeah. We were just looking that up too.
Because we were, I think before when we looked it up, it was supposed to come out like not on launch day, but like the week after or something.
Yeah, it was supposed to be close. They were saying,
then,
isn't that launch window, right? So
yeah, and then, man, oh man, then it just disappeared into the obscurity.
Yep. Interesting time.
But yeah, I mean, I will own both of them eventually, but I'm not rushing because, like I said, I still don't even have a 4K TV to take advantage of anything even remotely. Like, again, I'm a patient man. I can take load times.
Yeah. And honestly, if I had a real talk, and maybe it's just something about the way you and I are wired, but if I had $700 or $800 just kicking around, burning a hole in my pocket, straight to a video card for the computer, that would be my thing. And I would, that would be how I'd play the 4K ray traced super duper game. You wouldn't even need an $800 video card. Like if you can get a 3080 somehow. Eventually they will release more. And the hype train will have passed, right? And then you get it, and you can get all that. You can get all that hotness, right? And yeah. I mean, considering you and I are still playing like the Goose game, and I'm looking down the list of stuff we're playing, and none of it's taking advantage of any of that anyway.
Yeah,
we're simple folks. I mean, the closest thing to any of that has been you playing Control recently, right? Like,
yeah.
And you can play Control without having all the rays. You had the rays.
Yeah,
looked pretty good, but
yeah, I don't think I've played another game. Like, I'm not sure if Forza Horizon 4 has its next gen patch yet or not, because I was looking at it the other day and I was like, man, that's some crazy reflection stuff going on. So
yeah, I mean, I've got a Radeon card, like a 5700 XT, which doesn't officially support hardware ray tracing, but when I turn that up to 4K Ultra, it looks pretty freaking sharp. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how much further you go. I don't know how rays are. They'd almost have to artificially add ray tracing. Like, it'd be like the old beams of God they used to have, like on the like when they first started doing lens flaring and stuff, where you just make it so apparent that boom, lighting, like,
yeah, here are the lighting effects.
Are you not amazed? Yeah, I don't know. We talked about this too, and I know we're just continuously segueing, but this is what you get on the show, folks.
Yeah,
this is
you don't come here for order.
Ryan and I are both old cable guys. Like, Ryan may or may not still work for a cable company, but we were both in the cable TV part of a cable company many years ago. And we remember, we were talking about this, when TVs first started to go to 4K. Not 4K, sorry. 1080p, like high def.
Yeah.
Even 720. Like just having high def in general. And it was such a jaw-dropping difference when you were watching sports or hockey for the first time, and it was like you could see the blades of grass in golf, or the ice, like you could see like the spray flying up and everything. It was such a big difference. And when I went to 4K from 1080 this generation for the first time, I was like, it's sharper. Like, if I squint it, I could definitely see it's sharper, but it's not the same wow factor, right? Like,
yeah, it's not. I mean, I'd be walking by the head end there, and just National Geographic, something on National Geographic
Yeah.
channel would be up on that HD TV that was up in there,
Mhm.
and I'd just stop and it'd be like, like just
Yeah.
mesmerized by what was going on. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
how is this so crisp?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think like 4K, even in the home, if it's like really well done 1080p,
Mhm.
the only differentiator is going to be is once you're getting closer how fuzzy the picture gets with 4K,
Oh, sure.
right?
It's I mean, yeah, thing you can make up more like if someone's really close, it's a really close picture of like skin or something. You can notice a difference with like pores and things like that. But I
Yeah.
think the big change this generation has been HDR, which is
Mm,
lighting. Honestly, like some of the lighting looks so real right now and things like
yeah.
that. But the actual jump from 1080 to 4K, like I don't know. Not as
Mhm.
jaw dropping. It's like when it went from Nintendo to Super Nintendo. You were like, man, that looks amazing.
And
And
then
when you,
from Super Nintendo to N64, you're like, that looks.
that's different. Yeah. We talked about this. Like the first gen poly games do not age well.
They do not.
Yeah. Whereas now, and that's maybe that jump to segue back to the next consoles is where we're at with PS4 to PS5, or it's like there are going to be other things that work better and make the game work better, but does it not look like it could have been done on a previous gen? The game? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Yeah.
true.
When you're talking about, oh, well, it's better because it's in 60 frames per second. Oh, but it looks the same. Oh, yeah, but now it's 60 frames a second. That's cool. It's just not like punch me in the face for $600 cool, you know? Like,
I just thought of something. So a big deal about the PS5 is its new controller,
right.
right?
Yeah,
What's it? The Sense Touch? PS5
sure.
controller. Game support. I was trying to see because I mean the PS5 DualSense. I mean they're supposed to be adding all this stuff that the controller will.
Mhm.
So I wonder how many games in this launch are utilized to use the stuff in it.
Right. Good question. Maybe Godfall?
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky, yeah. That's another.
I'll look that up for next week because a lot of things came up here.
I want to see what people said about Godfall.
Are you going to check Metacritic?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to check. I just typed in Godfall reviews. Yeah, it's in the mediocre sense, about 60%. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Is it from Gearbox?
Sure is.
Those guys are really hit and miss, eh?
They sure are. It's yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They also are indirectly involved with Alien for Colonial Marines.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now that you mentioned the game, why don't we move into games and then we'll come back around to our making us grumpy this week.
Sounds good. What we've been playing for the games.
What games we've been playing? I was snapping there for people just listening to the audio.
Yeah, yeah.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So we had a day off in the middle of the week this week for Remembrance Day, November 11th. It's a day off work. So I actually spent the day playing video games. And, of course, appreciating the freedoms of our country.
Yeah, I was waiting to see you dig your way out of that one, but it's like, yeah, basically, if there's nothing else to do, so.
So, I was looking through the list of games that EA Play. What since it was added onto the Xbox console, it's on the old consoles as well, like the Xbox One consoles.
Right.
With Game Pass there, and a game caught my eye, and I decided to take another run at it, and that was SSX, the 2012 EA version of it, which I guess is kind of a relaunch. I don't know. They just called it SSX. They didn't put a title after it or anything. So I actually bought this game shortly after buying my PS3, which, if you listen to our stories, I bought the PS3 back in the day because I wanted to try out its Move controllers.
Right.
So, but then I heard SSX was coming out, and I'm like, oh my god, I love these games. What do you have a favorite SSX title?
Oh, Tricky.
Yeah?
All day, every day, yeah.
I thought Tricky was my favorite.
Mm.
I love the courses in Tricky.
Yeah.
But I like the gameplay of 3. If they could merge that.
Okay.
Because I kind of like that in 3, it's just like you pick a course and you run it. You know, a run on the mountain or whatever, right? In Tricky, that's what happens. But in 3, it's open world, and you kind of ski to your board to your different locations and stuff. And
okay.
So I wasn't with buying my PS3. I was really just dipping my toe back into console world at that time, and I was not good with a console controller. Okay, and I put a couple hours into it, and I was ready to throw that controller across the room. It was just, it was so dumb. Like, I played the crap out of it on GameCube, like SSX3 and World Tour, On Tour, whatever the fourth one, and of course Tricky. But I just like, it seems like they made it so difficult. I just wanted to ski, snowboard and do crazy tricks, and they added all this, like, you needed a body armor because some runs are so rough and you're going to be bouncing off trees, or you needed oxygen tanks because you're up so high. And then there's this stupid wingsuit that is so hard to control that
Sure.
So I realize now that it was just a lack of, like, now if I'm using a PS4 controller and a QuickTime event comes on and it's like push X, push square, I know where I'm hitting.
Right.
Like, I know the buttons, and that was definitely the problem with it back on PS3. So I ended up putting a bunch of hours into this, and I've done it a few times since. You do get the big crazy tricks if you're good enough. It is a much harder game, though. I am going to admit that, because it is way harder than like I remember it ever being on GameCube. And that's not just an old guy.
Back in my day.
But, there's this one effect it does that is so freaking cool. So you hop in the air and you do a big tricky trick, because they still have tricky. You still fill up your tricky meter. And when you land, it sends a ripple through the landscape.
Okay.
So you land and, like, you just see this ripple go out from you, and, like, everything, like, is affected by the ripple. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be peppering that in over the next few weeks here. I talked to a couple people, and they said that it actually gets, like, significantly more difficult. And, like, I've heard from a couple people now that they ended up just giving up because of how difficult, like, it was to continue in the story. But I haven't reached that point yet. But
sure.
You know what? It's a free game. I bought it years ago, but this time, oh, and look, like, it is the 360 version.
Okay.
Like, that's the cover that comes up when you download it, and it looks a little soft, but it's fine.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ryan Cashmere, SSX. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Actually, it's funny we bring that up because that's kind of my that's kind of my consensus for this next game.
Fair enough.
So I downloaded and played Soul Calibur 6 because that's another game. I've hovered over on the store. I'm like, man, I love these Soul Calibur games, and
Right?
it's been pretty cheap, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. So I tried to play the story mode,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh my god, so much anime talking. Where is the fighting? There is 15 minutes of me hitting the skip button
Right.
for a 30-second fight, and then another 10 minutes, and I'm like, so I eventually gave up on that and just went into versus mode and let the computer kick my butt a bunch of times and tried a bunch of different characters. But I've definitely come to the conclusion I'm not as into fighting games as I used to be.
Sure.
Like just the 1v1 fighting like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're much better if you got a buddy to play against or something like that, right? Like that, and that definitely tempers me ever picking up Mortal Kombat 11.
Right.
Same sort of thing, right? Like so it was kind of sad, but I mean, other than being annoyed by the anime stuff, the game looks amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of the fight stuff is still there, and
anime.
But yeah, I mean it's fine.
2 for 2. It's fine.
2 for 2. Oh, but wait, we're gonna go 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Okay.
So I finally tried Battletoads. Played that on PC.
The new one, eh?
The new one.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, it sure is. It's right there in the middle.
Right there in the middle. I don't know how long you put into it, but I did the first couple levels, and then there was the hover bike level.
Yep.
And I was like, my goodness, like this hover bike level is going on forever.
It sure is.
So then I did one level after the hover bike, and I'm like, I think I'm getting everything. Like the humor's fine, it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like playing a cartoon.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this would be so much better if Rob was Pimple and I was Zips, and we're both playing online with each other, but we're not, and I'm just sitting here by myself.
Yeah. You know another reason we couldn't?
Why is that?
Because you can't.
Oh.
There's no online multiplayer, yeah. Because why would you have that in a game during the 2020? Like
exactly. That's why I was bringing that up. I'm like,
yeah.
There's no even possibility of it. So yeah. Uninstalled until they add online multiplayer. Now,
are we 4 for 4?
Nope.
No. Okay. Here we go.
We're getting ecstatic with this next one.
Sure.
So I finally tried the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo. I'm like, you know what? This is coming out in a week. I need to know if I'm really going to pursue this, because I put a bunch more time into Hyrule Warriors, just the other one. But I kind of petered out. A lot of samey.
Right.
A lot of the same, like, sure, I'm getting some upgrades here and there, and I'm getting some bigger attack, but it's just the same fighting. But so I put 2 hours and 10 minutes into this demo, and it still didn't finish. Okay.
Yep.
And that was just the demo. But this game feels like more like it's DLC for Breath of the Wild than anything.
Right.
Like, I mean, you're even collecting the same stuff that you collect in Breath of the Wild. Like, the crafting systems are kind of like the same. You get all the Sheikah Slate powers. Yeah, and then it's just a cool story of like kind of right before, or not right before, I guess, when Zelda traps Ganon in the tower or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, it's like it's the big battle that leads up to the stuff before Breath of the Wild.
Right. It's a prequel of the story, I guess. Eh? Yeah.
And yeah, I was having so much fun, and like just all the familiarity, and like um even the sound effects, like so many of the same sound effects from Breath of the Wild. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, like I'm definitely loving it because I put so much time into Breath of the Wild. Like I think about just going in blind, it would the enthusiasm would be half. But this is
Sure.
definitely going to be a pickup for me. Whether it's next week, probably not.
Hmm.
Kind of blew my gaming budget on a Game and Watch. So
Woohoo!
and last, so I mentioned last week, I was playing Middle Earth: Shadow of War, and I was really liking it. And I put a bunch more time into this game, man.
Hmm.
I love it. Like I am loving this game. And I was playing it today, and I kind of unlocked the whole new like section of the game. And it's not a spoiler,
Hmm.
but I didn't realize this happened. So the first I'm like I looked at my save game, I'm 10 hours in,
Hmm.
okay? And I've got the controls really down, and like you just feel like a badass when you're one guy taking on 40 orcs,
Hmm.
you know? And the whole nemesis system, I noticed something. So every every evil orc that is in the nemesis system, like
Hmm.
that you're like either hunting or they're hunting you, has a really thick they used like a really thick English Cockney accent as
Ah,
like the
okay.
voice of like every orc. and then like and then like the good people have a very like posh like English accent. So it's like
Oi, governor!
it sounds seriously, but
I'm not gonna
but
sweep your chimney. Yeah.
with the upgrades you're getting, and like as more powerful you start to feel. But
Hmm.
I just unlocked today, so you're trying to you're trying to put you're taking on Sauron, and this
Hmm.
happens before the Lord of the Rings story happens.
Right.
But um I'm actually at a part now where I'm starting to put together an army together, that I'm going to take this army to go battle Sauron. I'm
Hmm.
like, what? Like it's not even just like the me running around doing quests and like running into these orcs in the Nemesis system and things like that. No,
Hmm.
no, I'm actually going to put together an army of mind controlled orcs
Okay.
to go take on Sauron. So I'm in the very early stages of that. It's exciting right now. Maybe it'll turn into something dumb, but like there just seems like there's so much you can do in this game. So 10 hours in, I finished the first chapter, and like it tells you a percentage completed in the save game,
Hmm.
and it's like 8. So yeah. So there'll be more. I'll talk about this more. Maybe this will be this year's No Man's Sky for me. Middle Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
Got you. And are you playing this on Xbox? Or are you playing this on PC?
Neither.
PS?
PS4,
Okay,
because it
fair
was
enough.
it was a PS Plus game this month.
Ah, okay. Right
Yeah,
on. Right on. Yeah.
yeah. I'm so I actually didn't even realize it was on Game Pass. That whole thing again.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep. I got Game
I
Pass up here right now, and I've just been looking, and I'm like, oh, those are all on Game Pass now.
yeah.
Neat.
So yeah, that's all I've been playing this week.
Nice. That's a lot of stuff.
It is. It
It's a lot of
is.
stuff. Know what I've been playing around?
What have you been playing?
It's going to make you finish that chip before I tell you.
Nope. It's supposed to be the opportunity for you to talk.
I have this week they launched Borderlands 3. I no big shock. Launched the designer cut in their season pass 2. So I got the designer cut, and I started the new DLC, or the newest DLC, called Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck.
Okay.
And it is definitely the DLC I'm enjoying the most so far.
Okay.
It is, you're inside. I don't know. I guess you didn't play, but Krieg was a character in the Borderlands franchise. He's kind of crazy, but he's one of the good guys.
Okay.
He looks like one of the big, one of the psychos, but
Yeah.
bigger.
He's the guy that's on all the covers, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
with,
he looks like the guys. The guys who are on the covers are usually the psychos.
yeah.
He's a good guy version of that, but he's a big buff guy.
Okay.
His name's Krieg. He's in there. You're inside his brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's I don't know how far to get into it, but there's the same Krieg and the Psycho Krieg, two different people you're interacting with in that world.
Okay.
And so like the worlds are just completely crazy. Like the first level is it's all meat. Like there's meat everywhere and like eyes looking at you, and it's like
Okay.
and it's crazy. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, so I'm into that, and the designer cut gives you the new skill trees in each character. So
Okay.
I normally main Mose, who's the one with the big iron suit. I feel like they've nerfed her suit because it used to be a little too overpowered. Like you get in there and you could last forever.
Right. Right.
I feel like they've nerfed that a little bit, which I mean happens. They do hot fixes all the time.
Yep.
And so her new skill tree, instead of being inside the suit, you get this little iron. Instead of getting Iron Bear, which is the suit you're in, you get Iron Cub. It's like a little robot version that kind of runs along with you, and he shoots some guns and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but all the characters got new skill trees. There's new cosmetics and all sorts of cool stuff. So still enjoying my way through that.
Awesome.
And like I mentioned before, I've been playing some Fall Guys, trying to get some crowns for a Goose suit. I am noticing Fall Guys, it takes a little longer to get into a game. It's not as popular as it was when we first started, which I mean happens, but
yeah.
Among Us, it sounds like Among Us kind of took a lot of their thunder a little bit. So
that's true.
Yeah, but it's still I'm still getting in games and still getting frustrated fastly at my little jelly bean and all his little jelly bean compatriots. And yeah,
I still don't know if I've experienced all the new levels from the season 2 yet.
Right.
I definitely haven't played much.
Yeah, but it's Fall Guys, still fun, still enjoying it. Gonna play a little bit more when we're done the show here, and
excellent.
Unless I play some Borderlands 3, we'll see. Yeah, that's about it.
I gotta finish a story up in Borderlands 2, and then I'll move over to 3.
Sure. Are you gonna finish the whole story or just a story? You gonna do the whole game?
I don't know.
Yeah, you should do it.
What is that like a?
It's a pretty big game.
Is that a 40-hour, 50-hour commitment?
It can get there. It's like if you don't do side missions, I think you can beat it in about 20, 25.
Oh, okay.
But
the side missions are missions, I love side missions.
They're all fun, especially with the story.
I live in the side missions.
Exactly. Then you're looking at a lot, but yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll do that this week. I'll get started on continuing that.
Nice.
Well, so you actually had a Making Us Grumpy this week, and it kind of ties into our talk earlier of it being new console week.
Yep.
You wanna take this away?
Sure, and feel free to jump in every time you got something, because I know we both feel pretty strongly about this. But this whole week, in what should be honestly just a joyous occasion for us gamers, you got 2 new consoles. You got the PS5, you got the new Xbox. They all do new things. Should just be a good time, right? And what I affectionately call the toxic fanboy Twitter culture, it's been awful. It's been hard to watch, but people have been so freaking angry at other people's enjoyment of whatever they have. In my opinion, why can't you just, hey, you like Sony, you like PS5, cool, enjoy it. You're not an Xbox fan, that's okay. But people seem to go out of their way. It's like, no, my system is good, but yours is awful. And here's the reasons why: you suck, you're a loser. People were making fake videos of Xboxes smoking. I don't know if you saw any of these, but
Were they
people,
fake?
yes, there were. I don't know if they were real ones, but there were definitely a lot of fake ones, that like
Oh,
proven fake, because it exhausts out the top, right? That's where the big
yeah.
fan is. So people were blowing vape smoke in the bottom, and then they were showing, "Oh, my Xbox is on fire! What a piece of crap!"
Right, right.
It's like, okay, first off, you've bought a $600 American system. It starts smoking. In real, are you still filming it, or are you going to turn it off or
Yeah.
unplug the power? Right? Like, and these all a lot of these are coming out, and then like people were doing fake PS5 stuff too, and it's like, it's just like, man, you know what? If you like that system, good for you. Go get that system. And there's always been some of that. Like, I mean, even going all the way back to Nintendo, there was Nintendo and Sega, and this has blast processing, and this doesn't, so it sucks. It's awful, and no one likes it. That was a bit too far. I didn't mean that far, but honestly, it got to the point, and I just heard a lot of this. It's like, and people were just pointing out the negatives as well. It wasn't that it's like, I don't like the D-pad on this controller. It's like, this is the worst piece of crap that has ever crapped out of a crap. It was like,
Yeah.
PS5 kills puppies, and Xbox voted Trump. It's like, I don't care if you voted Trump. Please don't tell me. I'm a conservative. I don't care. I'm Canadian, so I really don't care. But that's just where I was going with that, is that it's like, you can't just be, oh, it's a moderately unpleasant. No, this is the worst thing ever. It sucks. It's awful. Anyone who plays this should die. It's like,
that was what I was getting at too. That we
mhm.
the little segue there when we were talking earlier. Like, I wanted to see just a lot more love videos instead of.
Yeah,
But you know what? Like, it's a whole culture thing
yeah,
now where people like to ruin things for other people.
yeah.
Like, I see it
Not
like
enough.
it's like that's the new funny,
Hmm.
is ruining things that make other people happy.
Yeah.
You know,
And we just don't need that right now. And I mean,
not at all.
like I was seeing people say like, oh, you can't get 60 frames per second 4K unless the developer does it for the game. So it sucks. The hardware sucks. I'm like, okay, there are PC games that you can play in a 3090 that don't get 4K 60 frames a second unless the whole point is the developer has to do it in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why go through all this trouble to find what's awful about this? You know, it's
Yeah.
honestly, why not just let the damn people be happy with their PS5s? And if you want to poke fun at the games they have or whatever, you know, like the good natured stuff, it's one thing. But so my advice for anyone listening to this right now, if you're looking at Twitter for which system you should buy, just turn your Twitter off. Go to some sites you trust, like go to Gamers Nexus or Digital Foundry,
Yeah.
or don't go to IGN for anything. Don't give them your money. But I mean, there's a variety of very good sources where they will tear down things. They will give you specs. They will
Yeah.
go to them for if you want to find out about these systems, because
And
yeah,
if you want to buy an Xbox because you had bought an Xbox last time, buy an Xbox.
just buy the damn Xbox. You're going to have
Yeah.
fun with it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like, Ryan and myself, like we say, we're not wait in line kind of first gen people anyway, because we're all about the next version of it that'll be a little bit cheaper when it comes down to that, right? But
Yeah.
if you wanted to go, if you got yourself a PS5 and you're happy about it, be happy about it. Don't let anyone else tear you down about it. Enjoy your new system. That's
I mean,
what it is.
you know, being a Nintendo guy, that is one thing I will. You know, I'll buy every new system launch day,
Right.
and man, I've taken a lot of crap over the years for that. You
Sure.
know, especially in the height of the 360 PS3, like,
Yeah.
you know, for I remember when the Wii was coming out, and like there was all these memes of like it was just two GameCubes taped together, in a smaller box.
Yeah.
That's what that's what a Wii was, and then
Yeah.
came the biggest thing for like 7 years. you know.
Yeah. And then on the other side, when you and I were both Wii U fans,
Yeah.
it took a lot of crap from people. It's like, I don't care if they release 4 games in a quarter, but I like those 4 games.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's fine. You want to own a Wii U, own a Wii U. Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U.
Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii
Wii
U.
U. And now all the games we enjoyed on the Wii U are available on the Switch, but that's okay. That's
So just a tiny segue for that.
I like it.
We missed it. I had a whole kind of tribute to my wife that I'm turning her into a gamer.
Right.
In the show, in the lost episode. And I didn't bother repeating it because it wasn't an organic thing like it had happened in and so she's been I'll mention it now. So she's been blasting. This is a complete segue. This has nothing to do with new gen,
Sure.
but it does about the Wii U, and you'll see in a second.
Sure.
Anyways, so she's been blasting through games like crazy. Like she finished up Mario Odyssey, and then she went through Yoshi's Crafted World.
Hey.
And then what did she go through? Oh, and then I got her onto Stardew Valley.
Okay.
And that was a big time sink. Like she put a lot of time into that. And then she's like looking for something new to play, and she saw me looking through the store, and she saw Pikmin, and she's like, "Oh, you like that game, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, here, try the demo." Next thing I know, it's showing up on our doorstep from Amazon. So that's her new game that she's working on is
right on.
Pikmin 3, which is a Wii U re-release on and she's loving it. Like she's right in there, like having a great time playing it. She's a little sad. I tried to warn her. I'm like, don't name your Pikmin.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna start going through Pikmin, because at first she was really worried about, oh, I don't want to leave this guy out there, he'll get eaten, and then had her first like boss fight, and she's like, oh my god, he's eating them. What those ones are on fire, those ones are getting smashed, what's going on? I'm like, that's what makes Pikmin good. It's got a little darkness to it. So anyway, sorry, that was a complete.
Nope, that's a good way of
complete.
That's a good way to end that there.
Yeah. So you know what? Have fun playing what you're playing. Quit ruining shit for other people. Like,
Thank you, Ryan. I'm gonna edit that out now.
Oh yeah, I said ship. Ship.
You know what? At this stage in the video, I'm not gonna edit it out. So
yeah.
And just if you don't trust what you're seeing on Twitter to be like what the people are actually saying, don't even trust people on Twitter who are telling you something that happens to something. Just go to a source you trust, like an actual, like I mentioned, Digital Foundry is one we always go to. I go to Gamer Nexus for all my teardowns of stuff and like thermals and everything. Like, I think there's a video coming out on the PS5 from Gamer Nexus where he's tearing it apart, and like you're going to see the thermal issues with it, and if there are thermal issues, I trust that over some guy who supposedly had his PS5 light on fire, right? And
I found a good link of a PS5 controller teardown, and really watch that, because it was unbiased, and that's the kind of stuff I like seeing. I got to mention one funny video I came across, because the guy was so good natured about it. He's like, so every 3 to 3.5 hours, my Xbox is doing this. And so the video goes, and then all of a sudden, bang! Sounds like a cap in his Xbox is blowing.
Okay.
And then the Xbox resets, and then he can start playing again. He goes, I'm going to take it back, but for now, I can live with it. He's just so good-natured about it.
Yeah, well, good. It's like, this is kind of fun.
He's like, I just know not to be, waiting to save my game at about the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, I mean, there will be stuff from the first gen of it for sure, where they're just like, oh, should I check that? I mean, they're probably rushing a bunch of stuff out, right? But yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, just don't take your eye out there, mister. Well, that comes across really well. Yeah.
have fun, people.
I'm trying to think of how to describe what you're doing right now to the those in the audio podcast, but Ryan has a set of glasses that have blue LED flashlights that are basically almost taped to them.
No, they're built right in.
They're built right in, but they're like little flashlights on the side of his glasses, and he's aiming them at the camera right now.
Yep.
And we're all taking it in. And now he's taking his shirt off. How very peculiar. And now there's butter I don't know what's happening right now.
I was going to go with my nipples are glowing like blue LEDs, but...
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when the Grumpy Old Gamers show jumped the shark.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's been a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So happy new system week.
Yay. Happy new system week.
And, if you want to check out more of our stuff, you can check us out at thegrumpyoldgamers.com. We've been reposting stuff there. We've been a lot more diligent. We've been sending people there for months, and there's no new content for anyone.
There.
But honestly, check out the our Facebook page. Just search the Grumpy Old Gamers on Facebook. That's where most of our stuff happens. And we got every other social media. You can find us. We do a little bit of stuff on everything. And I think that's about it. So
I got one more thing here. Sorry.
Oh,
you
derailed.
You want to know how we were speaking about how things that, if you just like something, it doesn't matter what other people say about it. I want to put this as an example. This here is called the useless box.
Oh my goodness.
Spent, I think, $60. Ryan and I split this. Here's what it does. You want to see what this does? I'm going to zoom in here. Oh, how well it shows up. You turn it on, and a little finger comes out and turns it off. This is all it does.
So we both couldn't justify $60. And we had an office that we're I think that's where it ended up, was just on we shared it on each other's, like I took it to my desk for a bit, you took it to yours for a bit. And,
Yep.
I ended up giving it to you because you got kids, at least you can entertain the kids with that.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, like it was $60. It came in pieces. You can buy them now and they're all fully assembled. And
yeah.
I got one from my brother-in-law last year for $25, I think, and it's actually like a nice wood box. And but
yeah, but you know what? That made us happy.
Oh, dude, I can't even.
It was and it doesn't matter if ever people think it's stupid. It's that it brings joy, and in the end, that's all that matters, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if it brings you joy, don't you let anyone else talk you down.
Yeah,
there you
go. I can't tell you how many afternoons I wasted away trying to beat that clicker.
Yeah, you can't.
Click.
You can't. Look at this. No, it just always wins.
Oh dear. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Forgot about that silly thing.
That's
Look how much joy it brought me now.
Yes.
Even just seeing it.
That's right. Okay.
That's great.
Sorry. Okay. Continue on with your ending of the show here. That's
last thing is, you know what? If you want to drop us a line, you can email us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We love any sort of interactions we can get. So with our fans. But other than that, happy we'll be here next week, and we'll see you.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.